go get some Douglas fir trees. I am so excited. I love Douglas fir trees. At a small tree nursery. I'm not even sure these guys have a name. I found this guy on Facebook Marketplace. He had so many different types of trees that I wasn't expecting. He had several different types of pines and firs, including noble firs, true firs, grand firs, and some spruce. There was just so many trees that I wanted to buy, but I contained myself. I had some self-control, and I only bought the Douglas fir trees. But now we're back here on the farm, and my husband is currently cutting this section of fence down. I'm not sure why, but he's wanted this fence out of this section gone for a long time. I think it's because he wants to take the tractor and get rid of the blackberry briars that are attempting to grow on the fence. So I'm super excited because I finally got my Douglas firs. That's kind of what my nickname is after. My nickname is Fir Tree, Fur. Given to me by my uncle, so it was Fur, short for Jennifer, and then it was changed to Fir Tree as kind of making fun of me for how short and small I was as a child. I'm still very short and small, but I was the opposite of a Douglas fir tree, which is one of the tallest trees in the world. The Douglas fir tree is also known as the Oregon pine, the Columbian pine, the coastal Douglas fir, even though it's not really a fir or a pine, or even a spruce. It's its own species, but that's a different story for a different day. Anyways, I've grown to love the Douglas fir, and here in our region where it's native, it is known as the Douglas fir. And here we are just measuring how far apart we are going to be planting the trees. So I'm just bringing the plants to where we're going to plant them, and I will wait till I bring them all out before I get down and plant them. But you might be able to tell how muddy it is by looking at my boots, but I don't really care. Honestly, around here, if you wait till it's dry to plant, it's going to be too hot to plant because it doesn't dry out until like July. And so we have to plant in the wet no matter what. So the mud doesn't bother me. I'm just so thankful right now that it is a sunny day. We have been trapped and bogged in with thick, heavy fog for so many days, for weeks in a row. This winter has been really awful. The fog has been so thick that most of the time you can't even see 10 feet in front of you. So I'm just thankful for some sunshine. Oregon sunshine is very expensive. When it comes out, you got to get out there and use it. So I'm just thankful for a very sunny day and so happy to be planting my favorite trees. The mountains always look so much smaller on camera than they do in person. Dexter, you'll have to excuse me while I hold my baby. Are you part ragdoll? He could be a pirate kitty. So the mountain's right there underneath my finger. Come on, get down. Dexter, you don't need to go get the bird. Oh, that's a woodpecker. Definitely do not go get that bird. Dexter, I will lock you up forever in a catio if you go get that bird. Dex. So we put Dexter back in the house, not only so he wouldn't get the bird, but he was also being very aggressively needy and wanting my attention all the time. I couldn't plant anything. So the bird is safe. So getting back to how tall the Douglas fir trees are, at one point back a few hundred years ago, they had reliably measured the tallest Douglas fir tree at 391 feet, which is taller than the current living tallest coastal redwood, the sequoias. The tallest of redwood right now is 381 feet. So it's entirely possible that the Douglas fir tree was at one point the tallest tree in the world. It had second place for a while until about 2019. They discovered some yellow Meranti over in Asia. There's a yellow Meranti tree named Minara that they measured at 330 feet tall. And so right now, that yellow Minardi tree is taller than the tallest living Douglas fir tree. currently. So I guess the Douglas fir trees would be third place right now as the tallest, but I think in general the Douglas firs can on average get over 300 feet tall. So I don't know if every yellow minority tree gets that tall. So after planting this first tree, I realized why they were so cheap, and it's because these trees that I got were not exactly straight, so I'm gonna have to plant them weird, tip them a little bit different, and stake them up, I think, for a while. Now, one of the problems with Douglas firs is there is a Douglas fir beetle that ruins this, and that is what I am looking for right now. I saw some movement in the dirt, and I was just double checking to make sure it wasn't one of the Douglas fir beetles. It's actually just an earthworm, so it's a sign of good soil, so I was happy about that. I'm just pressing in on the soil here to make sure there's no air pockets. No delusions about me being able to plant all of them today. We've only got maybe an hour of daylight left. The guy at the tree nursery said no fertilizer. They've already put a little fertilizer in their pots, so no fertilizer for these guys, no mulch. So we're just gonna plant them and leave them as is. But I am so happy. The Douglas fir is actually a host plant to a couple different butterflies, which I'm not going to get into in this video just so that it's not too long. But the Douglas fir is a very important ecological tree to all wildlife, including us humans, including the soil. You guys got to see this. Taking a quick break to show the sun shining on the mountain real quick. It's so fun to watch the sun shine on it and continue to watch the sun go down on the mountain as it shines over it on sunset. It's my favorite view in the world. Well, I got all 20 of them planted, but it is really dark right now, so I'm not sure you'll be able to see them all very well. So I'll come back out in the morning and get a picture. So it's the next day, it's the next afternoon, because in the morning we had fog again, but it cleared up at noon, thankfully. But I'm not sure how well you can see them. They blend in too well with the grass. They're like the same color as the grass. So let's take a walk down and see. I did get them all planted yesterday. All 20 in an hour, which for me is pretty good. Yeah, they blend in with the grass in the background too much. You cannot see them. So hopefully as they grow taller, they'll be easier to see in this area. But that's it for today. Thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, feed the pollinators for me.